everyone, and welcome to the Perfume Realm. My name is Manahil, and today I have a very special perfume review that I've been so excited to share with you guys. But before we go on, I just wanted to say, if you are eager to become a citizen of the Perfume Realm, definitely hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. This will allow you to stay up to date with all that is happening in the realm. Today we are going to be talking about a perfume that I ordered from the niche house Viktoria Minya. So Viktoria Minya is the founder of the company. She's a Hungarian perfumist, and I believe she really learned all about the art of perfumery in France. Now her company is actually located in France, and that is why it took a very long time for it to come in, because there has been a lot going on with the postal system over there, which of course, in light of all the recent events, definitely makes sense and kind of was to be expected. But as anyone who has bought a perfume off the internet, we get a little bit of anxiety when it takes a while to come in, because we put good money into it and we really want to see the product. We're really excited about it. So I reached out to her on Instagram, asking about my package, and she emailed me right away. She was super professional. But before we dive into this perfume, I did want to let you guys know that I have an Instagram. It is perfume.realm, and I would definitely go check it out. That is where I posted my unboxing and my first impressions. So if you're interested in checking that out, I definitely would. And now it is time. So this is the box that the perfume arrived in. The package was very secure. Everything was bubble wrapped. Nothing was broken or anything like that. So this was the main box that was sitting inside the package. And then there was this tiny little box sitting next to it. So I opened up the tiny box first, and this had the samples. And I just wanted to let you guys know that the detail here is amazing. When you pay a price for a luxury niche product, you want to feel luxurious. You want it to really be an experience. And I think that's something that you're also paying for. And I definitely felt like this with this package. So going back to this tiny little box over here, it has a nice kind of smooth matte finish, which is nice. And then inside there were 3 little samples, and each of them were individually labeled. This one is Hedonist Absolute. This one is Hedonist Rose Absolute. And then the last one is Hedonist Iris Absolute. So inside of this black box, there was this box inside waiting for me. And this is a really nice sturdy faux snakeskin box. And when you open it up, I just love the presentation. The perfume itself is sitting on this kind of satin cloth, beautiful. So the perfume is actually called Hedonist by Viktoria Minya. I believe this was the first perfume she ever released. Ladies and gentlemen, Hedonist. Oh, this bottle is amazing. I am all about sparkles. I used to have a big obsession with like rocks, minerals, and crystals. So this is just the cutest thing ever. And then these crystals in here, I believe, is said to be genuine Bohemian crystals. And it's really nice little gold crystals in a golden juice in a cut glass, really heavy bottle. Yeah, presentation, everything, that is an A plus so far. And now let's actually talk about the juice. This, for me, upon my first impression, the opening was very strong, very powerful. I'm not talking about being strong as in being sharp or abrasive or anything, but kind of an example of how strong it is like in Oud Bouquet. That beginning, basically the entire fragrance, but that opening is very powerful, super powerful. And although they are completely different fragrances, that is the power that there was in those opening notes. And then the opening was this really intense golden sweetness. By golden, I mean it almost had like a honey like feel to it. I almost felt like it was creating a honey accord, because honey is not actually listed anywhere in this fragrance, but The top notes are rum CO2, which I believe the CO2 is like carbon dioxide, and maybe that means like sparkling rum. I'm not really sure. So rum CO2, there is peach, and there's bergamot. For me, it turns out that the peach and the rum were combining to create that honey accord that I mentioned. And there was the bergamot, and I think that also added to the brightness, the strength, and the intensity of the opening. I adore sweet fragrances, so I love this, and I think many of my subscribers who have been following me since the beginning or for a while now know how much I love a good honey note. So for me, the opening was delicious. I really, really loved it. However, I can see a lot of people not feeling the same way about it at all. The only example I really can think to draw of this is Scandal, because Scandal the perfume has this honey note, and it's actually a real honey note, like it's listed. And that honey note to me is beautiful. I really love it. I think that is what sells Scandal for me. That is really why I adore Scandal above other similar perfume. That honey gives it this edge because it's so sweet. It's almost too sweet, but it's not, in my opinion. But I know and have heard that a lot of people cannot tolerate that honey note, and they find it to almost have a very sour, almost cat urine like effect, which is an extremely opposite end of the spectrum view on it. And once again, that just speaks to how subjective fragrances are. But coming back to Hedonist, if you cannot stand the kind of twisted element that occurs in Scandal from the honey, I don't think that you would be able to tolerate this because the opening is that sweet. Okay, going back to the actual notes. So I did pick up on that honey-like effect in the opening. However, there was something different about it. And then when I actually read the notes and I saw peach and I saw rum, it's very apparent, very obvious, and just a beautiful match. But I can really pick up on this gorgeous, luxurious, juicy, fully ripe peach. That's what I'm getting, and it's so sweet and so ripe that when you cut into it and all of those juices start to flow out, it becomes this really thick, sticky, honey sweet kind of peach syrup almost, and then mixes in with the rum and kind of adds that fully honeyed twist. This is what I felt during my first impression, and then the more I wore it, I could really detect more nuances in the opening, and I really love it. So now in the dry down, those heart notes come out. It is said to have jasmine absolute, osmanthus absolute, orange blossom absolute, and tobacco. I can pick up on the osmanthus. It really has this kind of punch to it. I don't really get the jasmine. I do pick up on the orange blossom actually. Yeah, I do pick up on the orange blossom, and then the tobacco I'm not getting at all. I cannot pick up on the tobacco. So the dry down actually starts pretty soon. The opening is very short-lived, and as it dries down, you can tell very quickly that it's going to become a skin scent, which was a big surprise to me because of how big the opening was. I thought that it would be, one that really projects. And then once it fully settled into my skin, that is when the vanilla came out. There is vanilla in the base, there is cedarwood in the base, and then there is also vetiver. I was picking up on maybe the sweeter side to cedarwood, and that could be because of how this perfume was structured. But yeah, I really could not detect it right away. The vanilla was definitely there though at the end, and it was a very shy kind of vanilla, one that was very close to my skin. And I really think this perfume, Hedonist, actually shines in the opening and a little bit in the dry down, kind of in the beginning, and then it really fades. And that is upsetting because I really enjoyed that opening, and also because You know, this isn't the cheapest fragrance out there. I bought the 45 mil, which is the 1.5 ounce. So that for almost $200 is, you know, kind of hefty, especially because I feel like I'm really going to have to wear this sparingly because, you know, when this one runs out, I don't know if I will be going to purchase another one, even though I really, really, really love the opening and the beginning of that dry down. Just the price point is a lot, and for something that doesn't have amazing longevity, projection, sillage, just performance in general kind of makes me a little bit weary of that second buy. Don't get me wrong, in the parts that it is most prominent when it really shines, it smells like an incredibly high quality niche perfume. Last thing, hedonist actually means someone who like lives for pleasure. Like that is what life is all about, is almost shamelessly indulging yourself in pleasure. And I think that is a great name for this because the opening gives you that really, really rich and juicy peach. It is the peach that's hanging on a branch and making the branch heavy because it's so sweet and juicy and ready to be picked. And you know, maybe you went, you know, peach picking with your family and everyone's just picking peaches and you see this juicy, juicy peach and you want it all to yourself, and then you just sit there under the shade of the tree and gobble it up and just purely indulge in that honey rum peach juice. That is what a hedonist is all about, and that is what you're getting in this perfume for sure. It's like, oh, you like the peach and rum? Here, have some more. And then I was going to talk about the sample that I tried a little bit. However, I think that I have been rambling on, and I don't want to make this way too long. I don't want it to be painfully long for you guys. But I did really enjoy the iris one. I think she has 2 lines right now. The other ones in this line have different crystals inside for each of the different fragrances. I think there are 3 other ones. And then she has like the Absolute line, which I bet is like the stronger version. And they have the Hedonist, the Iris Absolute. And I tried on the Iris Absolute. It's beautiful. From the few times that I actually wore it, I really enjoyed it. So for right now, I loved it. Okay, you guys, I think it is about time for me to wrap everything up because you know that I can keep going on for hours. I just wanted to let you guys know that I posted recently a really fun collab video with Anna Absolute. She has a lovely YouTube channel and she also posted a video of us collabing. It was kind of a Q&A session so you guys can get to know me better, and then we have a Q&A session over on her channel, which I would go over to. She also has an Instagram. I'll be linking everything down below. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You know I love to read your comments. You know I love to reply. So let me know how you're doing. Just talk to me and I will definitely talk back. Other than that, have a good one.